Hello everyone, I'm Snigdha Kakkar and this is my channel AccelerateAICareers. Today we are going to solve a very interesting LeetCode problem, addbinary. This is LeetCode 67. It has been asked by Amazon, Google, Microsoft and Meta in their last 6 to 12 months of interviews. Let's dig deeper into this question. What does this question say? So we have been given two binary strings. Remember they are strings A and B, and we have to return their sum also as a binary string. So we have worked with binary numbers since we started our math, numbers, addition, etc. So we basically need to remind ourselves of the rules we follow during binary addition, and that will help us solve this question. So like in example 1, they are adding 1, 1, A is your 1, 1 and B is your 1. So when you add that, then you start from the 0th place. Now when you see the 0th places, both have 1, right? So if you add 1 plus 1, whenever we add two ones in binary, it leads to a 10, and 0 will come in the ones place in the result and 1 will go as a carry over to the next place, that is the 10th place. In 10th place, you have 1 as a carry and 1 from string A. When you add them, you again get a 10, and that's how you get the output 1, 0, 0. Now you have to return it as a string, hence the output is in quotes, okay? In example 2 also, if you see 1, 0, 1, 0 is your A, and 1, 0, 1, 1 is your B. So let's compute how we are getting this output, okay? So let me take this as here result, and let's start adding from 0th place. So 0 plus 1 leads to 1, okay? Then 1 plus 1 leads to 10. So in 10th place it would come as 0 and 1 will go as a carry. Now in 100th place you have 0 in both and you have 1 as a carry, so you add just the carry there, 1. And in your thousandths place, you have 1 and 1 plus 1 is 10. So it will come like this. That is your result as shown in the output here. Now it might seem pretty easy right now. Let's look at another case. When your A is 1, 1 and your B is 1, 1. Okay. In that case, if you start adding, then your result would be, if you add the 0th places, it would be 1 plus 1, that is 10. And you take 1 as a carry. So you have 1 in carry, you have 1 from string A and 1 from string B in 10th place. So if you add 3 ones together in binary, 3 ones added together leads to 11. So you need to remember this as well as one of the rules, okay? And how did we compute it? So if you just add the 10th places once, 1 plus 1 is 10, remember? And then in 10 you add 1 carry, that is 11, and that's how you're getting this result. So I hope the approach is clear to you. Now let's start coding it, and while we are coding, you will understand various nitty-gritties of the solution. So first of all, we'll initialize our result variable with an empty string. And since we have to return it as a string, that's the reason I'm initializing it with a string and not a numeral or an array. And I also initialize my carry with an integer value as 0. Now, if you have noticed, when we were discussing these applications, we started always from 0th place. That is, we are adding in reverse order. So it makes sense that we, instead of adding A and B directly, we add them while coding also in reverse. And that's how you reverse in Python. So for reversing strings in Python, you just use this : ::-1, and that's it. So we have added the reversal. Now I will go for I in range. So I'll run my loop to the max length, because it might just be the case that A and B might not be of the same length. A might be greater than B in length, or B might be greater than A in length, and we want to proceed to move along the longest of the two. So hence max of length of A versus length of B. And then, so right now you have A and B as strings, but you cannot add two strings, right? So you have to add them as numbers. And how do you add the numbers? So you take A of I at that particular place if I is less than length of A. So in case it is within the boundaries, but if it has exceeded the length of A, then take default value as 0, because that means that the index I is out of boundary for length of A. Same thing we'll do for B. Length of B is 0. But we are missing out one important aspect. These digits are being computed as if the A and B values are integers and not strings, but that is not the case. These are strings, right? So to convert these digit values to integers, we need to take the ordinate value, like I told you in the algorithm explanation. But if you take the ordinate value of A of I, in that case, you are converting it to some other integer value, which should not be the case. So you subtract the ordinate value of 0 from it, that will help you to get the actual value. So ordinate of a of I minus ordinate of 0. Say suppose a of I is 1. In that case, it will lead to the result as 1. 1 minus 0 and it will be 1. In case ordinate value of ai is 0, then it is 0 minus 0 and leads to 0. So I hope this is clear to you. Same way, I'll do the same thing with ordinate value of b of I minus ordinate value of b. So that's how you convert the string to digit integers. Now you just take the total and you get total as digit a plus digit b. Don't forget to add the carry. Right now carry is 0 when you enter the loop, but it might get updated when you are adding, right? After that, you can't update the result directly with the total because the total might be 1 digit or it might be 2 digit, right? So you need to get just the 0th position, not the entire position of the total. So to do the rest of the position will go in carry. So to get that, we'll take total and modulo by 2 because it is binary space, right? So we modulo by 2 and not by 10. But you will see total modulo by 2 will give you an integral value, but your result should be a string. So you convert this value to string. Don't forget that. After that, we can add this character value to our result, and that's how we append it. And finally, we need to update our carry, and carry will nothing but total divided by 2. So say suppose your sum of digit a, b plus carry is 1, 1. So if you take its modulo with 2, you will get 1, which you can place here in and add it to result. And your carry will also be 1, which you can take here, divide by 2 and update the carry. So once your entire loop has run for the maximum of length a or b, that means you have updated the count, appended everything to the result. You just need to check whether your final carry is 0 or 1. If your final carry is 1, in that case you have to append that carry also to result, right? So to do that, you append 1 with the result. Okay. And finally, you can return the result. So I'll run the code. 1 second. So I need to subtract ordinal value of b. Let me run here. Yeah, so it's accepted. Let's submit. So as you can see, the solution performs exceptionally well. I'll just summarize the solution for you. So you initialize the result as an empty string because you have to return the result as a string. You initialize carry as 0 and then you reverse the b strings because you are essentially adding in starting from the 0th place. Then you run your loop across maximum of length a and b because it might just be the case that they might not be equal in length and you need to run across the both of them. So you initialize digit a and b as ordinal values of ai minus ordinal value of 0 because you need to convert them to integer before adding, right? And you need to check if they have hit their maximum boundary, that is I has been out of index for length of a or length of b or not. And you provide a default as 0 in that case. Finally, you add digit a, b and carry and update your total. But you cannot just add this total to result because it might not be just 1 digit, it might be 2 digit. So you take a modulo by 2, convert it to string and then add it to result. When you divide it by 2, you update your carry. And that's how your loop runs for maximum of length of a and b. Finally, when you have run this loop for the entire length, you will check if your carry is 1 or 0. If it is 0, no update is needed. If it is 1, you need to append 1 to the result. And finally, you return the result. So this solution is very linear. The time complexity would be O of maximum of length of A or B, whatever the length is, O of n, linear time complexity, and space complexity would be O of 1 because you are not using any additional space. If you like my way of solving problems, subscribe to my channel to get updates for your daily LeetCode challenge. If you have a better approach to solve this question, share it in the comments. Have any doubts, any question, ask them in the comments. I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.